Hey y'all, welcome to or welcome back to our very bookish channel and welcome to our November secret read. This month, our secret read, we decided to choose the theme Try a Chapter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick like 3 to 5 books, whatever books are calling to us. We're gonna read the first chapter or two if it's like really short first chapter, and then we're gonna let that determine which book we want to continue reading. So I am really excited about this. I feel like the Try a Chapter concept is perfect for trying new authors that you haven't read yet. Earlier, I went a little crazy at the library. This was like last month in October. I found a whole bunch of books that I thought I would want to read for spooky season and would fit some of our Halloween prompts that my husband might choose. This was before he chose the prompts, so I didn't know what prompts were going to be chosen, but I was just trying to find some like grimdark fantasy or horror books that I thought were interesting. So I have quite a few library books of authors that I haven't read yet that I have on my list here for potentials. The first book that I want to consider, and I'm going to read the first chapter of, is Blindsight by Peter Watts. I mentioned this in the November TBR video, and this description of this book just sounds crazy to me. I'm not big sci-fi. Maybe this is normal for sci-fi. I really want to get more into sci-fi. But if you've read the description of this book, it just sounds kind of insane. So I'm very curious about this book, and I kind of want to give it a shot reading it. So I'm going to do the first chapter, and then we're going to see how I'm feeling about it at that point. The next book I have is actually, I have a duology. Don't know if I'll read both books if I happen to choose this one, but I want to read the first chapter of The Library of the Unwritten. This was a gift to me from Jen. She bought me the whole duology, The Library of the Unwritten and the Something of the Forgotten, The Archives of the Forgotten. And I've just been really wanting to read this book, and I have just not. So it's one of those books, y'all. I just haven't got around to it. It just seems like I have other arcs I need to read, or I'm reading a book specifically for a vlog, or I'm not in the mood for a kind of horror-ish. So I really want to get into this. This seems interesting. This seems like the perfect time of the year to read this kind of story. So we're gonna give this one a shot. The next book is a book that's been on my radar for a really long time. It's one of those books you don't hear much about, but when someone discusses this book, they absolutely love it. And that is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I believe this is just high fantasy, and it's got dragons in it, and it just gets raving reviews. That's really all that I know, but I thought this might be the perfect opportunity to read this. The next book is a new horror book that came out. Again, an author that's been on my radar for a super long time, but I just haven't read him yet, and that is The Queen by Nick Cutter. I think Jen actually mentioned this one in one of our most anticipated videos, and Nick Cutter is the author of The Troop, which is a very well-known horror book. So I saw this at the library and I had to snatch it up because I just thought this might be a really good one to get to. Right, so the next book I want to read is sci-fi. So it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I figure this Try a Chapter is the perfect time to see if this is a book I could get into. And it is Paradise 1 by David Wellington. This is a series. I don't know if it's just going to be a duology, a trilogy, or what. I don't know how many books the author has planned for this series, but this is a space horror. And the second book in this series is going to be coming out this month, and I didn't have it on my most anticipated because I haven't read the first book yet, so I don't actually know if it's a book I'm going to want to read, but I figure this is the perfect chance to try this book out and see how I'm feeling about this. Maybe it will suck me in and I will want to move right on to the second book once it's released, and we'll see. I don't know, but we're going to give it a try. Now this morning, I don't have a lot of time to read all these first chapters. I think I'm just going to grab a pillow and sit here and start with one of these books, but I do plan on bringing you with me throughout my day and trying to sneak a chapter of one of these books in throughout my day so that I can kind of figure out where I'm at, and then tonight start reading one of the books. So I will bring you all along with me, and right now I'm going to just sit here and pick a book to read the first chapter. I think I'm going to start with The Queen, just because it was right here on top of my pile.
for a new secret vlog, and I am enjoying one of my favorite kind of days, which is a little cooler and it's rainy and it's still fall and it's the perfect day to read. Take a look. This vlog was Amanda's idea to take several books, read the first chapter, and then pick which chapter grabbed you the most and made you want to read it. I have this feeling I'm going to end up wanting to read more than one. It's going to be hard to pick, I think. So I have 4 books. The first one is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. So I'm going to read the first chapter and see how I feel. Cute little first chapter. We didn't talk about if there was like a prologue or this is just like a beginning part, I would call it. And let me see how long the first chapter is, the real first chapter is. It's not that long, so I'm gonna try and read that just to make a really valid decision. That was very cute. Actually, I just saw that the second chapter says meet cute. It is a woman driving to a reading retreat, basically, that all of her friends ended up canceling on. And she's listening to an audiobook, one of her favorites. She gets lost. Before she knows it, there is a man standing in the middle of the road because she's trying to get her GPS to work, and the audiobook goes off. A pop song comes blaring on, and I've had similar things happen when a song suddenly starts, just because I had the audiobook loud and a song just comes raging out, and she looks up. There's a man that is standing in the road, and she veers off to avoid hitting him. Everything goes basically to a stop. So now I think we're going to go into, and this one is about a town that seems to have characters from a book in it. And I think it's one of her favorite books that end up in this town. Now that I know there was like a car accident before, I wonder if she's in some coma imagining all of it. But this one seems cute, so it is definitely still a contender.
All right, y'all. First stop of the day is Walmart. I read the prologue of The Queen by Nick Cutter before I left the house, and it's kind of confusing. I'm not really sure what's going on. You're following a young girl. She's 18 years old, and I think she's locked in like the kitchen of or the freezer of a restaurant, and she's kind of describing a scene that's going on outside. There is some really, really weird wasp infestation going on. She keeps talking about this lady that is the queen, and these are like extremely robust killer wasp. And they're like infesting and mutating humans, and I don't know. It's been a pretty gruesome, disturbing scene, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on. And I just want to show you guys too, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the book, because there's some really pretty pictures of wasps between the chapters, and I'm just kind of a sucker for those kind of details in books. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about this book. Like I said, I'm kind of confused, but I'm also interested, and I just feel like, I don't know, I'm not just, dying to keep reading, I'm not just like so sucked into this book that I can't stop. But I am going to stop here, and then
run into Walmart. I have to get my husband windshield wipers for his car. And then I think after this, I'm gonna run right across the street. There's a Panera across the street. I am a member of the Sip Club, so I want to get my morning coffee, and I need to upload a short for our channel, so I'm gonna do that. And then I might also try to read a few more chapters of books and see where I stand and where this one ranks.
Next up is My Favorite Terrible Thing by Madeline Henry. This one I've wanted to read for several months now, and I haven't gotten to it. I'm going to read the first chapter and see. Hopefully, I kept thinking when I was going to do this that I hope the first chapters aren't that long, because I wasn't anticipating this to be a very long first video, but we'll see. So this one's, it seems like maybe 10 pages max. I'm gonna see if I am interested in this one. So this one is about a detective, and they describe her as not doing things like in a usual way. Like she solves her cases in her own way. They don't really give too many examples, but the couple cases they just kind of talked about were just a little random, like bugs in a basement, and then also a cheating situation. There's an author that lives near her, and on the author's wedding day, she goes missing. And I think if I remember correctly, and it's on the back, I'm sure. So the detective, Nina, she ends up finding out that there are parts of this author's books that kind of came to life in this disappearance. And I don't know what's going to happen, but this one's definitely pulling me, and I can't say I chose it yet. I have 2 more books that I want to read the first chapter, so let's go on to the next one. This one's The Puzzle Box. I read the first one, The Puzzle Master by Daniel Trussoni, and it's about a man named Mike who he had a football injury when he was like in high school, and ended up altering his brain where he can solve things and solve mathematical equations and puzzles really quickly. This is the follow-up, and I've been wanting to read it, so I'm going to read a first chapter and see if it will outdo the previous 2. And it's actually a really short chapter, which I am a fan of really short chapters, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to pull me into it. Okay, that might have been enough. It's a very short chapter, but it made me want to read it. There's one more, and I just realized that my fear is coming true. It's going to be very, very hard to choose. Here's the next one. Rachel Hawkins, The Villa. I've been wanting to read another Rachel Hawkins. I read one earlier this year, and this was one I found at Half Price Books. I'm going to read the first chapter and see if it will be another one that's going to be really good. I think it's another one that's not a real first chapter. There's like a type of prologue and then a chapter 1, so it's not as short as the others. Another one I really want to read. So this one, you're introduced to the 2 friends who end up going on a trip to Italy, and they end up at a place that had an infamous murder that they start to dig into, and I think it's potential that some killings happen. At least it promises it in the description. But the part that really grabbed my attention is inspired by Fleetwood Mac, the Manson murders, and the infamous summer Percy and Mary Shelley spent with Lord Byron at a Lake Geneva castle, the birthplace of Frankenstein. Rachel Hawkins, The Villa invites you into its deadly legacy. And I still haven't read Frankenstein, so I don't know if maybe I will save this for when I am reading Frankenstein. I don't know. I'll be back with the secret envelope, and I will reveal which one I have chosen, even though it's gonna be really hard. I don't know how I'm gonna choose. But I'll be back and you'll see which one, and I will tell you why I chose what I chose.
Y'all, I finished uploading the short that I told you I was going to, and for some reason, I thought I had all day to read the first chapters of these books, but I was wrong. I just remembered that I have a vlog to edit. How did I forget that? I do not know. But I'm going to be editing a vlog now. I did bring Blind Sight and the Library of the Unwritten in, just in case I have time to read, but I'm probably going to be spending the majority of the day now editing a vlog, so I'll check back in with you once I get some more first chapters read.
Alright guys, I did spend most of my morning and afternoon editing a video, but I did get it done, and I did get the thumbnail done. So our Halloween part 3 vlog is going to be posted probably tomorrow. And I was also able to read the first little bit of Blind Sight by Peter Watts. And I read the prologue and the first chapter because the prologue was only 5 pages long. So total between the prologue and the first chapter, I read about 20 pages. And in the prologue, you're following a girl and a boy. And they're friends, and the boy is getting picked on. He's disabled, and some kids are kind of beating him up. And the girl has been, quote unquote, repaired. And the boy has not. Because the boy comes from a family that's religious and just believes God made you the way that you are and you don't need to mess with it. But the girl used to have seizures, and so her family repaired her. So I believe that, we haven't got many details, but I believe that means she's like part robotic, or she has some kind of maybe implant in her brain, I'm not sure, and she helps defend her friend and kind of beat the boys up that were picking on him. And then you start the first chapter, and in the first chapter you're following someone that is on a starship, or a spaceship I should say, a spaceship, and you're learning a little bit about the ship, and they've been traveling for like 4 years to get to a destination, I'm not really sure where, and he's on the ship with I think 4 other people. And you don't know what their missions are, or what his mission is, or, you know, why they're traveling. So that's really as far as I've got right now. So I've read Blind Sight and The Queen, and right now Blind Sight is sort of edging The Queen out a little bit. They're 2 very different books, so it's kind of hard to compare them. But I think like if I had to pick between one of those 2 so far, I would be going with Blind Sight. So we'll see how the rest of the books go, and I will check back in when I get more read.
Hey y'all, so Jen's birthday is coming up, and I wanted to show you guys what I'm getting her for her birthday. Most of the gifts that I got Jen, I bought from Etsy. We've been having a good time finding very unique gifts on Etsy for each other, and they have a lot of bookish gifts. So if you're interested in any of the items I show you, I will put links to them in the description below. Okay, first thing I wanted to do was get her some more bookmarks because she has been loving the wooden bookmarks. And I know she got me a Frida McFadden bookmark, a wooden one that I love. It lists all of Frida's books and I love it. And I know she's really been liking them. So I went to look for some wooden bookmarks and I found a couple of Star Wars ones that I know she's really gonna enjoy. The first one I found is this really cute one of the little robot. Possibly 3CPO, but I know there's also another tall human looking robot that could also be 3CPO. I'm not sure because I don't know Star Wars, but anyways, this really cute robot, and it says on the bookmark, this is the page you were looking for. I thought that was really cute, and I feel like this might be like relevant to the robot somehow in the story. I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe this robot finds things or something. I don't know, but I thought this was a really cute bookmark idea. This is the page you were looking for, so I bought her this. And then this is probably like my favorite little bookmark that I got her. It is so cute. Oh, look. It's the little green guy. She has a pillow of the little green guy. She's shown it on the channel before. So it just sticks out over the page. Like you would put your book and this would stick out of the book and you would see the little green guy. Isn't that cute? Oh, I thought that was so cute. I had to get her these because I just thought they were adorable. So the next thing I wanted to get her was a cozy pair of slippers, and it came in this little red bag, so I'm not going to take it out because I think this is kind of cute. But anyways, it's just a cozy pair of slippers. Last Christmas, I bought her a heated blanket. She was like, oh, I wish I had had this earlier because she actually was sick before she got the Christmas present. Anyway, I saw these slippers and they look so cute, comfortable, warm. It kind of reminded me of her, so I just thought I would get her these slippers for the upcoming winter. The next thing I got her is this cute little lamp, and I did have to open it to show you guys. So Jen, if you're watching, I did open it and put it back in the box. But I wanted to show everyone the little lamp. It's so cute. It says Jennifer's Library, and it has like a book, and it lights up, and it changes colors, so you can set it to colors that you want, or it like changes automatically on its own. It's so cute. I can't wait for her to get this. And she can put it by her books or, you know, near her book stand or her desk that she films at with all of her books around her. I just thought it was like very, very cute and very personal, little personalized gift. So of course I had to buy Jen a book, and this is a book that she's already read, that I know that she has loved, and she continues to read this author. She loves this author. And I know she had an ARC copy of this book, but I don't know if she purchased a finished copy of the book. And even if she did, I know she does not have this version. So I am so excited to show you guys. I got her Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. It is so pretty, this book in person. There was only so many of these special editions made, and it has, of course, like really pretty sprayed edges. And on the inside, the book just looks normal. There's nothing like too crazy about the book, but it does have a really pretty like goldish yellow on the inside to match the outside. But it is also numbered and autographed. So very cool. I actually reached out to a couple of different authors trying to get them to personalize an autographed book for Jen for her birthday. A couple of authors that she's really liked, and I wasn't able to get a response. I wanted to do something for her like she did for me with the J.H. Marker Mr. Lullaby book and with getting the nameplates from Jason Rekulak, but I failed at my attempt. But I was able to find this signed and numbered very special edition of Looking Glass Sound, which is a book that I know she loves, and I am so excited for her to open this up and see this book. I know she's gonna love it. And then lastly, I just have a few small things. I did get her a card, and it came in this cute paper, but the card is actually pretty cute. I'll show you guys real quick. It looks like, and it has like this kind of paper in it, like it looks like a dictionary, part of a dictionary, but it's this little of course it's like Star Wars themed because I know she loves Star Wars. It's like a Star Wars themed library card, and then when you open it up, it says, "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, you were born." And then it just has a little personalized message for me. And the inside, it says, "Happy birthday. Thank you for being the best friend in the galaxy. Love, Amanda." So super excited about this little card here. I know she's really going to be excited to get that. And then just some small little things. I got her some more Werther's Originals candy. I know at Christmas time, I bought her like a butterbeer flavored one that she really loved, but I can't find that flavor. That must just be like a Christmas time thing, but I did get her some of these. And I found the cutest wrapping paper to wrap her book in. Y'all, look at this. It's so cute. It's wrapping paper, and it says, "It's not a book. It's definitely not a book. It's not a book. It's definitely not a book. Okay, it might be a book." I just thought that was so freaking funny because obviously when you wrap it up, you can tell that a book is a book. Like, that's obvious. All you have to do is look at it in most cases, and if not, the second you touch the present, you can tell it's a book. So, I don't know. I just thought this was like super cute little wrapping paper to wrap her book up in. And then just some cute tissue paper to fill the box with. So that is all. That is what she's getting for her birthday. I hope she enjoys unwrapping her presents and receiving them. And I really hope you guys enjoy watching her unwrap the presents as well. I think that's so fun.
I am here for 2 reasons. First, I am going to unveil which book I chose based on the first chapter. And the second reason is I got my birthday present from Amanda and I'm going to open it on camera. I haven't opened it yet. So let's see what I chose first. It was kind of a hard decision, but I went with The Puzzle Box by Daniel Trussoni because it was giving me like a Da Vinci Code vibe and a different kind of thriller than I have been reading, and I really like to change things up. I just wanted to read something that I feel like I was going to get completely invested in, and this felt like I would. So I am going to start reading this, and I'm going to try and change position so you guys can actually see the box. 1 second. All right, I think this angle might work, even though it's kind of weird. I feel like I'm murdering this box. Oh, it has really cute happy birthday paper. Oh, I don't even know which to do first. All right, I absolutely love these. I think she got these for me last Christmas and I devoured them. They were the original caramel vanilla cream. And this looks like the card. And I like how it was, the envelope is like a page out of, it says French grammar. I'm sorry for the angle. I didn't know how else to get the box and me into the shot. Oh, it's Star Wars. What's funny is my brothers tend to always send this card, not like a library card, but birthday card that says the same thing from Star Wars because we're all Star Wars geeks, and it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away you were born. And we totally keep sending this to each other. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. Thanks, Amanda. And it has like Star Wars cut out too from, it looks like a comic book or something. And I see some fuzzy slippers in this cute little pouch. And we're about to get some very cold weather. Oh my God, these are so soft. Those are gonna be perfect, especially when it gets cold. And I see she had told me she was raving about this book. It's a language of dragons, and I work with someone who absolutely loves Fourth Wing, just like Amanda, and obsessed with dragons and sci-fi fantasy and romantasy. So I think Allie's really gonna love this. I told her it was coming and I think she squealed, so she is going to enjoy that. Aww, that is so cute. I haven't seen this. It's another Star Wars because I'm a huge Star Wars geek. And it says, this is the page you were looking for, which is appropriate. I love wooden bookmarks too. She probably saw that. Oh, it feels like something else is in here. And there was another one. Little baby Yoda, so cute. Oh my God, this is adorable. And it even feels really cool, but I've been loving the wooden bookmarks, so those are definitely going to get used for sure. Oh, this is, this wrap, I don't know if you guys can see, it says this might be a book, which is hilarious because it's obviously, it's definitely, oh, it says it's definitely not a book. Okay, it might be a book. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Look at this sprayed edges, one of my favorite books ever. Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. This makes me want to reread it so bad. This is awesome. Thank you so much. This is gorgeous. I wonder where she got this done at. This is so gorgeous. This is beautiful. I love this book so much. If you haven't seen my ARC review of it, I feel like I did. It's one of my first ARC reviews, and I don't feel like I really did that well at explaining it or talking about it, but she can link that one in there. But I love this book. I love Catriona Ward. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That's gorgeous. All right, we got the last one, so I can put this down below. All right, a different camera angle for the last book, since that was working out as well as I thought it was, but and I'm not sure yet what this is. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my, I'm probably gonna need the instructions, but so I don't know if you guys can see, it says Jennifer's Library, and I'm pretty sure this lights up. I feel like I've seen these somewhere. Not sure where she got it. And I happen to have a USB plug right near my library. So I am going to plug this in to show you guys. And it does different colors. That is awesome. That is so cool. I love it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's putting a weird light on me. Thank you so much, Amanda. I love my gifts so much. I appreciate it. And this one is definitely gonna have a home on my library shelves. So next I am going to spend some time, and I'm making a mess, reading The Puzzle Box. So I will see you guys in a little bit for some thoughts on this. So I went to put this in the Catriona Ward book just because I was going to take a picture and tell her how much that I appreciate it. And I didn't realize that it was also signed by Catriona Ward. And I do not have a signed book by Catriona Ward. So this is such a special, precious gift. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate it so much. This is, love it so much. Thank you. I know it makes me want to reread it again, but it also is such a great collectible item. Thank you so much. And when I was taking the picture again, just to be like, thank you, thank you, thank you, it is also a signed first edition, which I didn't notice. It has a special mark that says what number of 1,000 first editions that were signed. Again, thank you so much. It means so much to me. Such a great collectible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was curious just what it would look like with, I darkened the room completely just to see what this would look like. But that's really cool. Hopefully she tags, if she got this at Etsy, hopefully she tags who she bought that from, because that's really cool. Thanks again.
Okay, so yesterday didn't go as planned because stupid me forgot that I had a vlog to edit, but I had planned on just bringing you with me throughout the day and reading the first chapters of each of the books here and there and filming it for y'all. But as you saw, that didn't work out. I spent most of my free time yesterday editing the vlog for the Halloween Challenge Part 3. If you haven't seen it, you can go check it out. I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, so that, you know, was a little bit of a bust because of poor planning on my part. But I was able to read the first little few chapters or chapter of the remaining 3 books last night before I went to bed. So I believe we were at, I had read, ooh, I hit that. So I believe the last time I spoke to you, I had read The Queen and I had read Blind Sight. And I was kind of leaning more towards Blind Sight over The Queen. I did really enjoy both of these, but I just think this one was like fitting my mood a little bit more. Since then, I have read the first chapter of The Library of the Unwritten, and the first chapter of this book is so, like, I want to say cute, but it's not really cute. Like, I don't know, you can tell it's dark, okay? It's very dark, but I guess the main character, I like the attitude and I like the personality of the main character, Claire. And I think it's pretty fun and cute. And this book seems to be starting out so very interesting. You're following a queen and she has several ships of her, I guess, fighters, and they are trying to escape something, and they land on this island, and the island has its own inhabitants that are fighting back. And the island also has dragons, like, in the middle of it. And she's trying to get through those people to get to the dragons, to ask the dragons to help her fight these people. So in the prologue, all that happens. It's kind of the queen's point of view. And then in the first chapter, you're following her second in command that is on the island trying to just buy her time. So this seemed like really interesting, right up my alley. I am kind of excited to get into this one a little bit more. And then finally, I read the first chapter of Paradise One. And this one surprised me a little bit. Like, I guess I read the back, and it does say in the description that there is an Inspector Alexandria Petrova, but I just wasn't expecting a detective in space. I was kind of expecting maybe a scientist or an astronaut, something like that, you know, maybe some leader that's ruling this little space station or area, some commander or something. Again, very interesting. It's kind of hard for me to decide because I actually really do want to read all of these books. The first chapters seemed good, and I do feel like most of the time the first chapters of books are very good because they do want to suck the reader in. It's like the middle of the book, the like after 20%, you know, to the end, the middle of the book, that's really the test for books for me. I don't know. I think at this point in time, I'm kind of feeling Paradise One a little bit. I'm really interested in this book. I'm a little bit hesitant because it is such a big book. It's over 600 pages, and like I get nervous reading long books for vlogs. I love long books, like reading them, but for vlogs, when I'm kind of up against like trying to time things appropriately and link it up with Jen and get everything finished at a certain time, it's a little intimidating to pick the bigger books. But I don't know. I was just checking the time because I gotta go soon. Trying to hurry, but I think I am gonna read this one. I think I am. It seemed interesting. It went fast. The chapters are pretty short, so I do think this is a book that I can get done in time, and right now it's the one I feel that's the most interesting to me.
So I got through a huge chunk and I didn't stop to record because I've been battling a head cold. I still feel like I have it, but I at least have a voice and I'm not coughing so much at the minute. I decided I should probably do an update. I didn't really think about it when I went into this. I knew it was a follow-up to The Puzzle Master, and I had remembered how much I wasn't a big fan of the ending of that one. And what's funny is the reason why I wasn't, which I don't want to say because it's a spoiler, ends up kind of showing up in this book. And I was thinking, I wonder if this is either going to make me feel differently about the ending of that one, or I'm going to end up not liking this one because of that ending. For some reason, I thought Mike Brink was just on a whole new adventure and they wouldn't necessarily talk a lot about what happened towards the end of that book and at the end, but it makes sense that they would. I felt kind of stupid when they when the plot kind of delves into what happened at the end. I hate that I can't talk about it because it just sounds like I'm saying a bunch of general things, but it did end up showing up, like, I would say like a third of the way in. You are mostly finding out about this puzzle box that Mike has to solve, and it's very tense because he's trying to research it, but there's not much he can research on it. The most modern research material, this woman that he meets, her name is Sakura, she tells him that that might not even be accurate. He has to try opening this puzzle box on a full moon of the dragon year, so there's just a very small window of time to try opening this. I've already read up through where they are attempting to open this puzzle box, and I can't say much beyond that. I was wondering how much I'm going to be able to say past what I just read, because a lot of things happen and I can't talk about it because it would ruin the book. I am enjoying myself so far, but I'm not having a lot of time to read, and I also haven't been feeling well, which is, I think, part of the reason why, like, I feel like details end up getting cloudy because I have like medicine head and stuff like that. But I do have some time this afternoon. I have a grocery pickup order, actually 2 of them at 2 o'clock, so I have 2 hours. And I'm going to spend that time reading before I do a bunch of running around and then chores. So I'm going to hopefully get a big chunk read, and I will follow up with what happened. So I did get a bunch read today, and I only have about 100 pages left. And I think I should be able to finish it tonight. At least I'm hoping. And something I thought of with some developments in this is it's not just similar to like a Da Vinci Code vibe, because I feel it definitely gives the same kind of feeling I had when reading Da Vinci Code, but also because of something that occurred, I feel like it's kind of like National Treasure, the movie that had Nicolas Cage in it, because I really like those films too. There's something about solving puzzles, and especially when there's some action adventure, but in both of those there's this ominous group or enemy that is also after what the main character is trying to solve or trying to get to, and that's also true in this. So I am going to continue reading, and I'm hoping to finish, and then you'll see me next time for final thoughts. Unless if something happens and I react at the end. But I'll probably be deep into bed reading, so I probably won't film. But next you'll see me is final thoughts. Also, how cute is this bookmark? That little Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, is like peeking out from the bookmark.
Okay guys, quick update. I am on chapter 85, which is page 356, and I just got kind of like a big twist. I'm just really surprised. There have been some like very terrible things going on in this book, and I'm loving it. This book has been so fun to read so far. I'm still enjoying it. Just got, like I said, to a big twist about one of the characters, and I have a feeling there's a lot more to reveal. I still don't know a whole lot of information about the doctor that's on this ship, and I'm also very curious about the detective's mother. There is a part in the book where it feels like potentially there's this AI that calls her a name that only her mother called her, so I'm just kind of curious to find out like if there's a link there, what the link is, and then when she gets to the planet that she's supposed to go to and find her mother, I'll be very curious to find out what she finds, because there's like some information about this Paradise 1 planet, but not a whole lot. So I'm still tracking along and really enjoying the book.
Here for some final thoughts on the puzzle box. I did enjoy it. I do feel it was a great follow-up to the Puzzle Master. Some of the what I didn't necessarily like or enjoy at the end of that one, I feel I ended up thinking differently about it because of how it was introduced back into this story, and I feel it was given a better conclusion, because you were kind of left with some question marks at the end of Puzzle Master. And I don't want to say what, because if I say what it is, it ruins both the books. But I feel it was explained better and worked out in this book. Maybe she was thinking she was going to do that the whole time and had that planned out. I don't know. What I didn't expect, and I really enjoyed about this one, is there was a sub-storyline. I don't know if I would call it a sub-storyline, but there was a storyline in this one of women empowerment and being able to right some wrongs that were done to some women in power. A bulk of this book was set in Japan, and you're learning some history and you're learning about some of the women that were in power, and then you're learning about how some of that legacy was taken away or tried to be taken away and hidden because they weren't valuing women. And I feel that a lot of those issues are still happening today, even in America, and what the whole political landscape just is occurring right now and some of the dialogue that's happening. So I appreciate Danielle Trussoni and how much she researches and puts into these books. It reminds me of how Jodi Picoult does the same thing with her books. I very much appreciated that part of this book, and I didn't realize that was going to be in there. I know I said in another video, but if you do like Da Vinci Code, I was a big fan of Dan Brown books and Angels and Demons, and I read a bunch of his books. Da Vinci Code, I think, might have been the first one I read, and I really loved that one. I also feel like the National Treasure movies is another thing. It almost reminded me also of like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and just adventure and tied to historical events and historical artifacts and what they mean, and how a lot of that can still come up today. So I very much enjoyed a lot of aspects to this book. I ended up giving it a 4. I think if you enjoy any of what I just said, you would definitely enjoy, but you would want to start with The Puzzle Master, which is the one before this. I don't know if you just read this one, if you would get some of the things it is referencing from the other. It's hard to say because I read the other, so I got a lot of what they were talking about. She does explain a little bit, but I feel like you would want to read the first one before you read this one. Anyway, that was the final thoughts on this book. I am very happy with my choice. I do want to read the other 3 books that I had read a first chapter for sure. 100%. I'm going to be reading all of those books. And also, Amanda, thank you again for my birthday presents. I don't think I have them. I have it already up on its little shelf, but this is such a beautiful, lovely, heartfelt gift that I love Catriona Ward, and for you to get me a signed copy, I very much appreciate. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, it has been quite some time since I have updated you. I had a few days where I did not feel good and I was sleeping almost all the day, so I didn't get a lot of reading done, but I have finished Paradise 1. I finished it last night, so I wanted to update y'all today. I am driving all day today. I'm going to see my mom and dad for Thanksgiving week, so I am taking a little road trip, but I plan on getting lots of reading done while I'm down there and putting out some more vlogs for y'all. So I hope you don't mind me updating you and giving my final thoughts from the car. But I really enjoyed this book. This is my favorite sci-fi book so far. Not that that's a big deal because I honestly have only read a few sci-fi books in my life. But this book, it was so fast-paced. It was scary, but I read kind of like a thriller. It was complicated sci-fi as far as, you know, it takes place in space and there's a ship and there's AI intelligence and all kinds of stuff going on. But the author does a really good job of balancing out that complicated confusingness with keeping other things simple. Like, you only have a handful of characters to follow. There's only 2 points of view you switch between. There's very short chapters and you are entertained the whole time. There's always something very exciting going on, always some new information, some new little tidbits that you pick up and learn along the way. It read quite a lot like a thriller, in my opinion. And I cannot wait to get my hands on the second book when it comes out. I already have a hold in the library, so when I'm like the 3rd or 4th person in line, so I'm hoping that I will get my hands on the next book in the series coming out soon. And that's kind of all I can say without giving away spoilers. I think I've talked a lot about the plot of the book in the 2 or 3 of the characters in the book so far. So all I can say is if you are looking to get into sci-fi, I think this is a great book as long as you don't mind a chunker, because it is almost 700 pages long. It is a long book, although it doesn't feel long, and it goes by very fast. I mean, there were days where it was like I read 100 pages in like a blink of an eye. It just seemed like all of a sudden I was 100 pages ahead, and it went by so fast. So I think this would be a good one if you don't mind long books. I think this would be a great one to read for sci-fi. And those are all my thoughts. Also, I wanted to tell you the first book does end on a big cliffhanger. So you are going to want the second book if you enjoyed the first one. It does end on a cliffhanger. You're going to go out and get that second one right away. So just to warn y'all, with that, because sometimes that can throw people off when the first book ends on a cliffhanger and then you're like, scrambling to get the second one. So just be prepared. But that's all my thoughts. I enjoyed the book. I highly recommend it. So I think I'm going to give it 4 stars on Goodreads. And if you all aren't following me and Jenna on Goodreads, you need to check out the description of the video, because I always link our Goodreads accounts in the description. So go check us out on Goodreads if you're on there and want to follow, kind of see what we're reading and what we're up to. And I hope you all enjoy, or have enjoyed by the time this video comes up, I'm not sure, your Thanksgiving week. And I hope you got to spend lots of quality time with your families.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to do some more content in December. Maybe not as much as we have been putting out because it is busy this time of year for us. But keep your eyes peeled for more videos that we're doing. And until next time.